Don't lie to me. Were you one of those people who wanted D'Angelo Russell traded from the Los Angeles Lakers? I know a lot of people did. But right now, my man is playing at a career high level. This brother is going off. What up, everybody? It's your boy STG Hoops with a brand new video where we breathe and talk about basketball. D'Angelo Russell is going off, and this video, my man D-Lo, is for you. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We grow in a family, we talk basketball, and I can't wait to have y'all part of the family. But let's get started with this video. In 2015, with the number 2 pick, the Los Angeles Lakers selected D'Angelo Russell. The number 1 pick that year went to Karl Anthony Towns, who's still with Minnesota. The number 3 pick was Jahlil Okafor. What a time. The number 4 pick was Porzingis, right? So this was a great year in terms of some, players. Devin Booker was obviously selected this year. Scary Terry was selected this year. Bobby Portis, Tyus Jones, some of the players that I'm looking here who are still obviously, doing work. Jerian Grant, etc. But Russell was the Lakers pick, and the Lakers are always going to be that team that everybody's going to have all eyes on, right? Especially them being the number 2 pick. And guess what? This brother, his first year in the NBA, was teammates with one of the greatest players to play the game of basketball. That's my favorite basketball player ever, and that's Kobe Bryant, right? So there's a lot of expectations when you're playing with Kobe, and D'Angelo Russell had to feel that right away as soon as he started his season. Now, he was obviously very young, right? When my man first started playing, he was young. He was 19 years old, and in his first season in the NBA, he played 80 games, but he started 48 of them. And of course, he averaged 13 points a game, which isn't bad, right? Like, it was like, okay, this guy got potential. He can maybe make a move or make something happen. His second season, 15.6 points a game, which was pretty solid. He now ended up becoming like pretty much the full-time starter for the squad. And Laker fans at this point in time weren't sure if he was going to be, the person of the future for this squad, right? It was still debatable because he did have some moments, and I remember watching Ice in His Veins being literally created by D'Angelo Russell. Maybe it's somebody else, forgive me. But when I think of Ice in My Veins, I think of D'Angelo Russell, right? And I actually had the opportunity to meet D'Angelo Russell when he played in LA. I went to LA for a trip for NBA 2K, and I met him. He was actually part of that event, so pretty crazy. Cool dude, can shoot that rock. But anyways, my man got traded to the Brooklyn Nets, right? Brooklyn Nets traded for D'Angelo Russell, and obviously they gave Mozgov, I believe, and they even gave the pick which ended up leading to Kyle Kuzma. So Kuzma obviously played with LeBron, did his stuff. That was a fun time to watch, obviously. Got the chip, all that good stuff. But D'Angelo Russell then started a brand new arc, if you will, with who? The Brooklyn Nets. And then the Brooklyn Nets, D'Angelo Russell really kind of reinvented himself, if you will, because now you have less pressure, obviously, playing when you're in LA, all the pressure's on you, and especially when you're playing with Kobe, etc. And then, LeBron ends up going to LA. So he had the opportunity to kind of be in Brooklyn and just really be a brand new person in the squad and kind of, tat it up and just really kind of reinvented himself. And in his second season with the Brooklyn Nets, my man literally played 81 games. He started all 81. He became the official starting point guard, and he had an amazing breakout season, right? Averaging, going from the previous season, 15 points a game, then 21 points a game, and he literally became, a face of the Brooklyn Nets. And it was really cool to see the game winners and the big games he had. I remember that time, great times, and it's like, yo, D'Lo is it, man. D'Lo is doing it, and at this time, he was very young still, 22 years old. 22 years old. And then, of course, the following season, there was a massive sign-in trade that obviously happened between who? Between the Brooklyn Nets and the Golden State Warriors, and he got a bag of $117 million for 4 years. Now D'Lo was playing with Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, and then another trade happens, obviously, sending D'Lo to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And obviously, in return, they got Andrew Wiggins, and hey, they ended up winning a chip, right? Which was pretty cool, so happy for them. But D'Lo then started his new arc with who? The Timberwolves. So now this is his third arc, and with the Timberwolves, he had opportunity now to play with the number 1 pick in his year, Karl Anthony Towns. And of course, with the Minnesota Timberwolves, my man still produced. So obviously his first season he wasn't like the official starter, but he still averaged 19 points a game, which is you gotta love and respect. But then at 26 he ended up being 26 years old, he ended up being the full-time starter, playing 65 games and starting all 65, averaging 18 points a game. And there's a common theme here, right? I know he gets a lot of criticism and stuff like that, but my man's a bucket getter. You don't just average 18 points. You don't just average a career of literally his entire career for a bunch of seasons, 8-9 seasons, averaging 17.6 points a game by not being a bucket getter. So let's just establish that D'Lo, when given time and an opportunity, he will get you buckets. Like that is what it is, bro. Like you're not averaging 18 points a game for your career if you don't know how to get buckets. So I'm gonna give him respect there, 100%. He has a stint with the Minnesota Timberwolves. They don't really do too much, obviously, and Minnesota had their own future, right? Anthony Edwards comes along, Conley, etc. So D'Lo had his stint with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and that, of course, the blockbuster, huge, iconic trade, if you will, with D'Lo ending up going to the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm sure y'all remember how crazy this trade was. Like this was like the massive trade where Russell Westbrook went to the Jazz, right? And then of course D'Lo ends up going from the Timberwolves to the Lakers, and the Lakers also got Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt. Now Beasley's with the Bucks and Vanderbilt's still with the Lakers, and the Timberwolves ended up getting Mike Conley. And bro, the Lakers obviously had to give up a first-round pick. And dude, hold up, man. Before we continue, I'm just spitting right now, dog. Spitting. We don't script these videos. I don't have like a script on Microsoft Word and I'm just reading. We're speaking from the heart. Of course, I have some statistics brought up. I'm not no calculator, but I hope y'all appreciate that. If you made it far into this video, I'm trying to do things a little different and not just, read a script or a teleprompter. I'm just speaking about the game that I love, taking the actual factuals, putting them in together, and just spitting it out in a way that's talking like a fan. So I hope you appreciate that, everybody. But anyways, back to the video. So D'Lo ends up going to the Los Angeles Lakers, and you know what? I want to give them props because they turned it around, bro. They turned it around that season when D'Lo ended up going to that squad, okay? Because he, in a short amount of games, this team turned it around. He averaged 17 points a game, and they literally, this past season, one ended up being from a team that was not even going to make the postseason to a team that obviously, ended up going down to the play-in and turning it around and going all the way to the Western Conference Finals to get blown out by the Nuggets. But when they had that squad before D'Lo, it was all said and done. This team was done. LeBron lost another year. So the fact that they made it that far, D'Lo had a huge role into that. But anyways, this season, D'Lo just wasn't doing it as much as people wanted him, right? Like the Lakers re-signed him for about $37 million a year or something like that for 2 years. And the expectation was that D'Lo was really going to elevate his game. And, he actually ended up going from being the starter of the squad to then coming off the bench for a stint, and there were so many mixes of rotations, just like last year. They always be doing this, dog. They just be switching their rotations 24/7, man, this Lakers squad. But D'Lo just wasn't cutting it. And one of the biggest things that I noticed about D'Angelo Russell is he was being not as aggressive as he should have earlier in the season, right? And that's kind of when these trade rumors started coming in. LeBron's taking the shots, AD's taking the shots. Passiveness is literally what is being D'Angelo Russell's embodiment. He's just being passive, and Reeves is trying to make a name for himself. You got Christian Wood in this squad who literally thinks he's Shaquille O'Neal / Curry on the squad. I watched Laker games, so I'm just speaking freely, right? So you have all these different pieces on the squad trying to make a name for themselves, and D'Lo was just kind of playing passive. And now the rumors were just going everywhere you talk about before the trade deadline. Even now, D'Angelo Russell's name was always up there. Whether it's DeJounte Murray, it's Sexton from the Utah Jazz, Trae Young from the Hawks. Like, who's the trade corner piece for this? It would be D'Lo, right? Somehow, these trade rumors, I'm telling you, man, it has to be the trade rumors, just awoken this brother D'Angelo Russell, because once these trade rumors started coming, my man, I'm telling you, I'm looking at the statistics right here. January 7th against the Clippers, 13 points, 5 for 14. The next game, January 9th against the Raptors, 11 points, 4 for 8, not taking a lot of shots. And then Dude, from January 11th till onward, I don't even know when we're watching this video. I don't know. He might be traded by the time this video is live, but I'm telling you, bro, from January 11th, when he had the game against the Suns, my man, 19 points. The Jazz, the next game, 39 points, then 14 points, then 29 points, then 30 points against the Nets, 34 against the Trailblazers, 27 against the Clippers, and just against the Chicago Bulls, my favorite team, my hometown team. My man gets 29 points. My man shot 8 out of 13 from the three-point stripe, bro. 8 threes in that game. D'Lo just be going off. Yo, man, maybe you got to put this guy in trade conversations more often, because that really, really, really ignited him, and he is playing the best basketball I've seen him play. He is playing with confidence. Every time he shoots a three prior in the season, I don't even think it's going to go in, man, and now he's shooting threes. Yo, I was watching this game the other day. This brother was fading away shooting threes. Like in 2K13, you could do that. He was doing fadeaway threes, and it was going in, and he is just playing confident, bro. He is playing confident. Mind you, he literally in some of these games averaged way over 7 assists. Like he had a game where he got 27 points, 10 assists, 34 points, 8 assists. So he ain't just scoring, he's facilitating too. And that, I gotta give him respect, bro. He is turning it up. The D'Angelo Russell comeback is real. And you know what he says? He realizes for this team to be successful, he has to be aggressive. And that is the biggest mindset shift he's been doing. He's been playing aggressive. He's been getting a lot of minutes. And he's obviously in the starting lineup again. And he is maximizing that opportunity. Now, he's playing really well. Does that mean now the Lakers can get more value for him? I don't know. But I don't know who you're going to get for D'Lo that's going to really change the game, for the Lakers. You ain't getting no supermax player. You're going to get a Murray potentially. And I don't think it's worth getting rid of D'Lo in a first-round pick for DeJounte Murray. I'm not hating on the brother, but I don't think he's going to do significantly more than what D'Lo is doing. I'm just being real with you, right? I would love for the Lakers to get Sexton without having to give up D'Angelo Russell. You need a dog on your team, and there's other players out there, but I don't even think you're going to get Trae Young. You know what I'm trying to say? So with that, or the only person that I think is worth trading D'Angelo Russell right now, who is apparently not even in the market because Cleveland said no, would be a superstar in Donovan Mitchell. You can get Donovan Mitchell, fine. Maybe you got to include D'Lo in a deal because Donovan Mitchell got 70 points in the game. Donovan Mitchell is a straight up superstar, but you ain't gonna get a superstar. They ain't for trade. They ain't for sale right now. You know what I'm trying to say? D'Lo is somebody who's picking it up, and I would, obviously think he's going to stick with the Lakers. I think they're realizing what he's doing, and I'm proud of him, and he's stepping it up. And I'm not saying the Lakers don't have to make moves. I think they do have to make moves, but I think that D'Angelo Russell should not be in that equation unless it's literally for a superstar. You still got your pick. You still got players like Rui Hachimura, etc. that you can make a trade for. Maybe even Vincent. I don't even know, bro. He's been hurt, but that's my take on it. But D'Lo, I'm proud of you, bro. You killing it. Keep on doing it. If you're a Lakers fan, you must be super happy because they're gelling. When D'Lo is aggressive and they're running, they're gelling. Takes the load off Anthony Davis, who's playing super healthy and well this season. Takes the load off LeBron James. And, bro, at the fourth quarter, LBJ and AD, they're going to do their thing anyways. But having that third option who's getting you 20 points a night, yo, that is helpful. That is helpful. And if he is struggling, then you got a supporting cast. But for the most part, him being aggressive is advantageous to this Lakers squad. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and like this video. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on D'Lo? Did they trade him? Did they keep him? Is he overrated? Is he going to help them make a run in the playoffs? You let me know. Are they going to even make the playoffs? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to be responding to every single comment. Y'all are absolutely the best, everybody. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.